What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce 2. My name's Will. It's another beautiful day here in Texas. I hope you guys know that I love you, God loves you, that there is an awesome plan for your life. Today, we're going to have a fun little informal discussion about Paldean Fates, specifically the 5 cards from Paldean Fates that you should be looking out for and that you should be buying when you're ready to buy them. These are going to be the top 5 Paldean Fates cards, and a couple of the cards on this list honestly are surprising. Personally, I thought Paldean Fates would go the route of Crown Zenith, and I suppose it probably still could. Crown Zenith is a fantastic set, tons of fun to open, so many gorgeous cards in that set, and I assumed that Paldean Fates would kind of do the same thing where the prices on everything kind of just tanked because there was so much of everything. But after several weeks of Paldean Fates being out, we're not exactly seeing that. We are seeing some really competitive prices on a lot of things, but there's a couple cards that are holding really great value, and I just wanted to talk about those today because I've been having a heck of a lot of fun with Paldean Fates. We've been opening it on videos, we've been opening it in streams. I'll have a stream tonight where we'll have Paldean Fates and Wild Force and all kinds of stuff like that. If you want to join up, check the link in the description below. You can come hang out, RSVP, all that good stuff, and if you're a new user, you actually get $15 credit, so you get $15 off, or just come hang out and watch. But let's take a look at some of these cards. First, so I want to start off by giving an honorable mention to Charmander, the baby shiny, specifically Charmander. This is a cool little card. I've only pulled it a couple times out of all the packs we've opened, and it's got a market value of about 20 bucks. Charmander's a really popular character. There's really only a handful of baby shinies that are worth any money. There's a ton of really cool baby shinies, and there's a bunch that are actually rising in value, but I just wanted to give Charmander a little honorable mention here because it's a really cool and cute card. So we're going to go into this real quick, and the 5th card that you should be keeping your eyes out for, trying to pick up if you feel like it's a good price, but one of the few that I think you should get for this set if you're only going to get a handful is definitely the baby shiny Pikachu. Absolutely love the baby shiny Pikachu, and the crazy thing about the baby shiny Pikachu, at least for me, is I've only pulled it twice out of tons of packs that we've opened, probably, like I said, close to 1,000. I've only pulled it twice, and it just so happened that one of those times was actually one of my actual packs that I was opening for myself. Gorgeous card. It is the 5th most expensive card in Paldean Fates right now. It has had some significant price drops, but it is trending right around like $30 for the card right now, which in my opinion is a great price. I love this card. If I were to see it at a show or a local game store and I didn't have it for 30 bucks, it's a no-brainer pickup for me. Will it continue to go down? I'm not exactly sure. You can look at the market analysis of it and see that it did go down significantly when the set actually released, but it is kind of stabilizing right now, so I personally wouldn't be surprised if this stays around a $20 or $30 card. Next up is a strange one, and it's going to be Iono, the alternate art style version, SIR version of Iono. And the reason I say that this is a strange one is because we already have an alternate art Iono from Paldean Evolved. And it's a gorgeous card, and in my opinion, it's the better version of the two. So it's interesting to see that we're getting a functionally identical card with another alternate art form, which Iono is an incredibly big staple card. It's played in most every deck. Very powerful card, very disruptive card. And it's interesting to see another alternate art version. Now, it is a very popular card, and people really like it, and justifiably so. It's a beautiful card, and it is trending around $45 right now. It has had quite a large drop. It was around $90 to $100 when the set came out. It has dropped significantly, and it is continuing to drop, so I would suspect this card probably go down a little bit more, but this is the 4th most expensive card in this set, and if you really like this card, and it's one that you really want, it's one to keep your eye on to see if it continues to go down, or if it levels out. Find that price point that you're comfortable with this card. Was your price for this card 50 bucks? Now that it's trending under that, then maybe it's a good time for you to buy it. If your price point for this card is like $30 or something like that, this is a great time to really pay close attention to this card and see what it does over the next few weeks. All right, the 3rd most expensive card, and the one that you should be keeping your eyes out to pick up from Paldean Evolved, is the SIR Gardivoir EX. Very beautiful card. It is a shiny Gardivoir EX, and it is the playable version that is the most popular Gardivoir EX and very powerful Gardivoir EX that's being played in an incredibly popular deck right now. Being that it's the shiny version, it's gorgeous. It looks beautiful. It's very playable, and it is not incredibly expensive. It's trending around, I'd say, just a little under $60 right now. And this, again, like, is pretty standard for everything when a new set releases. This card has had a big drop from the release when it was selling for around $110. Now we're at about 58, 60 bucks, and it does look like that it is continuing to go down a little bit. So I would say the same thing with this one as with the Iono is if this is a card that you really, really want, that I would be keeping my eyes on this card, watching the TCG Player prices trend and see what they do and figure out what the comfortable number is for you. If that comfortable number for you is 60 bucks, then now's the time to buy it. If that comfortable number for you is lower, then watch it and wait, and you should be able to pick this card up for a decent price. We're not exactly sure what'll happen in the future. They'll level out more, they'll go up in price, or they're just going to stay where they are, but keep an eye on it because it is a good time to be paying attention to pick these cards up when you want to. Also, just want to throw out there, if you ever want a place that you can trust to get your Pokemon cards from, maybe think about joining my Patreon. It's like $5 a month at minimum, and I do drops on new sets, Japanese and English sets, for my patrons, always below MSRP from a source that you can trust. Go check it out. You'll be able to support me. You'll get some good stuff for yourself at great prices from a source you can trust, and it's an all-around win-win situation, and I do great deals. I try to do at least once a month a really, really great deal, so go check it out. There's going to be a link down in the description below. We're going to move on to number 2. Number 1 and number 2, you probably know what they are, right? You probably know what they are, but these are two really interesting ones. They're doing the opposite of, honestly, what I expected these cards to do and what I expected all the other cards from Paldean Fates to do. And so we're going to go into the second most expensive card, the second top card you should keep your eyes out for in this set, and the one that I love the most, and it is the shiny Mew EX SIR. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous card. This card is just stellar. Absolutely beautiful card. And again, like the Gardivoir, this is an insanely playable card. This is a new release. I think the first time we saw the Mew EX was Pokemon 151, and it is played quite often. It's not necessarily a staple, but it is very playable, and it is played in a lot of decks. And this is our first alternate art shiny version of this card. Now, there are a bunch of playable versions of this card besides this. So you got the gold, you got the full art, you got the regular EX. There are a bunch of versions of this card. This being the prettiest, the most beautiful, and the rarest of them all. It's keeping a great price point. I honestly expected this card to tank like all the other cards did, and it did initially. It did initially tank, and then it went up. And then it started to go back down, and then it started to level out. And it's been hanging out right around $100 to $110 for a little while now. It's got a market price of around 106 bucks right now, and it's been pretty level. It's stayed right around this value for a while, which is kind of interesting. You would expect it to continue to go down, but it's leveled out. It went up, or it went down, up, down, and then leveled out. And this card, in my opinion, deserves it. It is a beautiful card, very playable. I personally don't have it yet. My price point for this card is a little bit cheaper. If this card dips to around, I'd say like 75 bucks, I'll probably pick it up. Still kind of crossing my fingers. Maybe I'll, pull it one of these times when I'm just randomly open packs. You never know. You never know what could happen. But the Mew EX is holding its value. Well, I think it deserves to be a $100 card, to be honest with you. I think it deserves the price point of a $100 card, but we will see, what happens in the future. So keep your eyes on this one. I definitely recommend picking it up when it gets to the price point that you're comfortable with. And just like the Mew EX, the number 1 most valuable card and the best card in the whole set that everybody loves is no surprise, but it's gonna be the Charizard EX SIR. Gorgeous card. Out of the, I think around like 700-800 packs that we've opened, I've pulled this card 5 times. And that seems to be a little above the norm, but it is beautiful. In person, it does not disappoint, and it is incredibly playable. It's kind of interesting how many of the top cards in Paldean Fates are very playable cards. One of the most competitive and popular decks right now is a Charizard EX deck with this card. It's the one that people are really playing the most is from Obsidian Flames, but it's the same exact card right here. And it's beautiful, and it's no surprise that it's holding the top spot at number 1, trending around $150-ish. It's been around that $150-ish point for a good while now, and it kind of has done what Mew EX did. It dropped, it went up, and it went down, and it hasn't quite leveled out yet. It looks like it's in the process of trying to level out, still going down a little bit. I would expect this card to level out maybe around like 130 or so, but beautiful card. And these two specific cards have kind of done the opposite of everything else. Everything else just kind of went down, and they went down, up, and started to level out or have leveled out. So I find that really interesting, especially since we have, kind of like the Gardivoir, we have an alternate art version of this Charizard already. So I find that to be cool. These cards are beautiful. These are the top 5 cards of the set, and the 5, in my opinion, to be looking at, to pick up when that price gets to a point that you really, really like. Pretty much everything else in the set is very, very affordable right now, under $20. There are some baby shinies that are going from like $3, $4, $5 up to like $10, but that's still, in my opinion, under the $20 price point. Still an easy pickup at any point in time. So this is stuff to keep your eye on. If you're wanting any of these cards, if any of these cards are your chase cards, definitely watch out for these. You know, you can come hang out in my streams that I do usually on Wednesday nights. We're actually going to do it on Tuesday night this week because, you know, Wednesday tomorrow is Valentine's Day. But you can come hang out in those. Links will be down in the description below. And let me know what you think. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the prices. I'd love to know. Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give it a good old thumbs up because it's free for you to do that, and it really helps the channel a whole lot. And if you want to stay up to date, smash the subscription button, hit that little bell, all that good stuff. And if you liked this video, YouTube says that you'll like that one too, so click it and watch it. And like I always say, my friends, find somebody to love and serve today. Be the change you want to see in the world. See you next time.